Hey everyone, in this video I'll walk you through 19 key concepts related to labor markets and economic policies. First rule of labor markets: wages are determined by the supply and demand of labor. What you earn depends on how many workers there are and how much employers want them. Marginal product of labor is the additional output produced by hiring one more worker. How much extra stuff gets made when you add another worker to the team? Collective bargaining, negotiation between a group of workers, usually a union, and an employer over wages and working conditions. Workers team up to ask their boss for better pay and rights. Labor union, an organized association of workers formed to protect their rights and interests. A worker squad that fights for fair treatment. Perfectly competitive labor market is a market with many employers and workers where no single actor controls wages. In other words, everyone competes fairly and wages settle naturally. Marginal revenue product of labor is the extra revenue a firm earns from hiring one or more workers. How much money that extra worker makes for the company. Marginal cost of labor is the cost of hiring one additional worker. How much it costs a business to bring in one more person. Monopsony, sorry I butchered that, but is a labor market with only one major employer. In other words, one company is the only game in town. Workers have very few choices. Bilateral monopoly is a market with one employer and one labor union negotiating wages. Basically a face-off between a company and a strong union. Affirmative action are policies that provide advantages to groups historically discriminated against, a way to help level the playing field for minorities. Income inequality is the uneven distribution of income across a population. Some people make way more than others. Some people make less than others. Poverty line and poverty rate. The poverty line is a minimum income needed for basic living. The poverty rate is a percent of people below that line. If you earn less than this amount, you're considered less fortunate or poor. Poverty trap is a situation where low income discourages work or savings due to lost benefits or taxes. Earned income tax credit is a refundable tax credit for low to moderate income working individuals and families. A tax break that gives money back to working people who don't earn much. Medicaid is a government program that provides health coverage to low-income individuals. Free or low-cost health care for people who can't afford it. Safety net is public programs designed to prevent people from falling into extreme poverty. Temporary assistance for needy families. TANF is a federal program giving cash aid to low-income families with low work requirements. Progressive tax systems is a tax system where higher incomes are taxed at higher rates. And finally, income redistribution is the transfer of income from the wealthy to the less wealthy via taxes and public programs. In other words, taking from the rich and giving to the poor to make things fair. Understanding these terms is crucial to comprehending how our labor and economic systems function, as well as how policies impact everyday lives. Thank you for viewing, and I hope you all have a wonderful day.